Hey everybody, this is Soph,
This is Rich.
and we are from across
Across
the
the pond.
pond.
Happy bloody birthday, Rich. It was your birthday yesterday.
Why, thank you. Why, thank you very,
Hence
very
why
much.
we've got matching decor, because I sent you a birthday box. A,
You
so that you
sure
could have
did.
matching decor. B, I sent
Mm-hmm.
you a birthday drink so that we could share a little tipple together. So we'll say cheers to your birthday. And I sent you a birthday cake.
You sure did. And here it is,
Oh,
people.
are you ready? Don't blow it
I
out
am.
yet.
I'm ready. Hold on. Let me show
Happy
this. Let me
birthday
promote
to
this.
you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rich from across the pond. Happy birthday to you. Make a wish.
Happy birthday to me. Yay!
Cheers.
Thank you.
You
Thank you
are
so much, Soph.
another year older, another year wiser, and another year more handsome. Cheers to
Why,
you.
thank you so much.
Mm.
Mm.
So,
Cheers, by the way.
here's the big question of the day. How
Yes.
did you spend your birthday?
I'm going to tell you, I spent my birthday doing my favorite things. Um, I went shooting at the shooting range. Um, I played some pool. I ate some really good food. And I partaked in some libation, alcoholic beverages. And then I ended the night, ended it this morning watching Mike Tyson and Roy Jones.
Me too. Now,
And
I've got to be honest, I thought that both of us would be in worse states than we are. You, because I knew that you would be fairly intoxicated from an all day birthday binge drink. Me,
oh
because the
yeah,
Tyson fight never actually started till 5 a.m. this morning and I stayed up to watch it.
you stayed up to
So,
watch it?
of
Wow.
course, come on.
That's
So hard.
dedication.
Yes, man. This is Mike Tyson. So I actually thought both of us would be a lot worse for wear. I mean, amen for the ring light to hide the sleeping bags under the eyes.
Yeah.
You've got glasses on to hide yours. Good shout.
Yeah.
But we're actually in quite good spirits considering.
Hey, you know what? I'm built to last. That's all that is. You work hard, you play harder.
But you do know it's going to catch up with you eventually, right?
Oh yeah, I'm saying about 5 o'clock. I'm probably going to bed early tonight.
Passed out. Okay, so let's just have a quick 5 minutes to go through the fight because there was the one before that of the basketball dude, Nate.
Nate Robinson.
Yeah. What did you think about that?
He got the boy cleaned his clock, okay? But I mean, we're probably won't see Nate Robinson for a while, just due to the simple fact of all the memes and all the
Out of sheer embarrassment, he's not going to show himself.
pure embarrassment. But on his defense, though, he's never been in a ring before. And I think I don't think he took it as serious as he should have. But the other guy said he took it serious. Like he's been training. He's not he's not a boxer neither one of them are boxers
Well,
by
he'd
no
only
means.
had one fight before that. And that was it. But
And
the other dude, Nate Robinson, he went charging, literally running into the middle of the ring. And even the commentator was like, God, does he realize this is boxing? He's not playing basketball or anything here, you know?
Yeah, it's not wrestling.
He literally went down like a sack of spuds. Let's be fair.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now that rabbit punch in the back of the head, what did him in? I mean, that's where your eyesight lay at. That's why you're not allowed to punch nobody in the back of the head. He got caught right in the back of the head, ended up all up underneath the ropes. And then a man cleaned his clock and he hit by far, that's embarrassing. Stick to basketball, people. Stick to what you know. Stick to what you know.
Did you watch the other fight before that one? OMG, I knew I wasn't going to be able to remember the name.
I'm going to be honest with you.
No, you were too.
I don't think I recollected any of those fights at all.
Okay, let's go straight to the main event. Tyson, Roy Jones. What is your personal opinion on that fight?
A waste of time.
Do
I
you
have
think a
to agree.
draw was the right result?
Um, I don't even know why they even like made it to where it should have been a winner or a loser. It should have just been, they should have just hugged at the end and let that be it. Because to be honest, the hype, it was overly hyped to me. I feel bad for the people who actually bought it because I mean, and just think about this. Mike Tyson in all his commercials and all his stuff, he looked ripped.
And he was
looked
quick.
like
He was quick in all of his training videos. He did not bring any of that to the ring last night.
and he looked like a 54-year-old man.
He did. I
Like
must say, he didn't actually look like he bust a sweat. You know, the other guy was panting, sweating.
if
But
Roy Jones did, I'm gonna tell you right now, Roy Jones didn't train for that fight. Roy Jones was sweating from the time. And he was out of breath after the first round. And they were 2-minute rounds. They weren't even 3-minute rounds like actual.
2-minute ones.
It was 2-minute rounds, and he looked like he was about to die in there.
I will say though, if it was my choice, I would have said that Tyson had the edge and should have won. There was no way it was a draw, but that's just my opinion, ain't it? That don't.
I'm gonna take a quote from old Snoop D-O-double-G. It looked like two uncles fighting at a barbecue.
Okay.
That's what he said, and I'm sticking to it.
What did you think about them letting Snoop commentate?
I thought it was hilarious. To me, that was worth watching it because, like, he was look, everybody. The Snoop was hitting everything right on the button. He said everything. He was saying how people were feeling. That's how I look at that because it was. I mean, pay-per-view got paid. That's all I gotta say.
Somebody got paid a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah, hella paid. And then guess what? Because old Mike Tyson fights, everybody knows Mike Tyson used to come in there and you be upset that you paid for pay-per-view because of the simple fact
it was over so quick.
It's over. You'd be like, oh my God. And back then, pay-per-view was like what, $40?
I'm not gonna lie. In the beginning, they put these things on the bottom of the telly screen saying they're not allowed to knock each other out. It's a this fight. They're not allowed to do this. They're not allowed to do that because of this, because of that. I was really hoping Mike Tyson, the old Mike Tyson, would come up from the depths of nowhere, be a rule breaker, and just spark him out. After watching him in his training videos, no.
It was
there was none of that.
Pure display of two old men going at it.
Now, don't get me wrong.
Would I pick a fight with either one of them on the street? Heck no.
And don't get it twisted. I'm glad I watched it because if I didn't watch it, no doubt it would have gone down and I'd have been like, damn, I knew.
You know what? I agree with you. I feel like if we wouldn't have watched it, we would have missed something. But now that we've actually watched it,
we're like, meh, whatever.
I'm like, I should have took a playbook out of my father's book. He was like, man, I ain't watching that. I'm ready to watch Spence and Garcia next weekend. I ain't worried about two old men in there fighting. Neither one of them should have been in there. And then I didn't even know that Roy Jones was still fighting. They said he stopped fighting like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. You tell me.
I'm telling you, I think Tyson should have won, but it wasn't all that in a bag of chips. Let's put it that way.
Neither one of them. They should have both went home and just sucked it up. They should have just hugged each other at the end and just went on about their business.
To be fair, as I was watching,
it wasn't even exciting.
As I was watching them hugging it out, I did think to myself, God, if one of them literally gave a massive blow to the other one, I mean, not just them because they're old, but they could literally cark it. Do you know what I mean? That old. They're old, so
they ain't that old. Like let's keep it 100.
He's in their 50s.
51 and 54 is not that old. Now 60 to 70.
Punched in the head. Imagine if you're 50 something and you're going to be punched in the head by a heavyweight boxer.
No, George Foreman was old and he was doing it for real and was knocking people out. He's like I think in history books, he's like the oldest heavyweight.
Then look at him. He went on to make grills for your food, so.
Yeah. He went on and made George Foreman grills, and we ain't seen him since.
Exactly. Probably enjoying he's
we,
enjoying the money
we,
off of them grills
we,
while he's cooking his chicken.
we ain't seen him since.
Mm-mm.
And I kind of like greasing my food. I'm sorry, George.
Really? Depends what it is. All right, so that's the birthday summed up. That's the boxing summed up.
Yes.
Anything else? Little nuggets of information to divulge from your weekend?
I'm still here. That's the best thing I can say. I'm still above ground.
Get in, and that's all we can ask for. You're still
Yes,
here
get in.
to live another day, to tell another story. You are here. And I want to say, I do believe it's your father's birthday today.
Yes, it is.
So
It's the matriarch.
I would like to say happy birthday, Mr. Payne. And I do believe I owe him a story, so I'll call that his birthday present. I'm going to read him a story. That
Yeah,
will be his birthday present from me.
yeah. The quiet has kept. My dad loves Soph's accent. He loves it. He goes, I watched the show today. I'm like, what? That woman just has such a lovely accent. I just be like, Dad, all right. Love you, Dad. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mr. Payne.
Yeah, the man, the myth, the
The
legend.
Yes, love that.
Yes. Oh, I keep that.
Sunday,
That was me. Sorry.
Sunday's show is literally all about you, Rich, because it was your
Really?
birthday yesterday, right? So today's topic is
Sweet.
your most favorite subject, movies,
Really?
because it's about you. Now, I just want to tell the viewers, I was going to tell them last week, but because it was your birthday weekend, I knew we was going to have two light-hearted subjects. We have actually had a meeting and decided that Friday is like Friday Fun Day subject. So that could be about what each thing means from across the pond, sweets, TV, whatever. And then Sunday is going to be serious Sunday. So we're going to have a serious subject like we've done autism so far, guns, law, and crime, which is going to be back by popular demand at some point.
Yes, yes. Backed by popular demand. And I did some, never mind. I'll leave it for the show.
Exactly. Don't go giving away any gems. So yeah, today would be serious Sunday, but because you decided to have a birthday yesterday, we're doing another light-hearted topic, which is dedicated for you on movies. So
All right.
firstly, I want to touch on the movie we totally missed on Friday, last week's movie suggestions. You gave me two, which were Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
Absolute tripe. I mean,
I knew you were gonna say that because guess what I did? I watched it again and I was like, man, she's really gonna rip this apart.
I come here with it takes me an age to find one that you haven't watched in the first place. But when I do, I bring my A game. So far, you've only given me one good film. We've been doing this for weeks now. Come on.
No Country for Old Men. No Country for Old Men.
No Old Men in a Country. What's it called?
No Country for
Old Men. No Country for Old Men. I'm going to give that.
You liked it.
I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 because
that means you liked it.
I did like it, and I'm not going to lie. The first time I went to watch it, 12 minutes in, I fell asleep. But that was because I tried to watch it at night when I was tired. So I thought, you know what? No, I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to stop it. I'm going to start again tomorrow. So I went back the next day and watched it, and I did actually like it. It made me jump a couple of times because you don't see what's coming. And the guy, the main character, drug dealer, he's crazy. Where did he get that hairdo from? Number one. Number two, he looks crazy. He's obviously, that's meant to be his character, but he plays that so well, real crazy. And the thing is, I don't mean to give away a spoiler. Is there ever going to be another one? Because you just don't know what happened to him at the end.
I don't know. That movie is so old.
He just hobbled off into the sunset after getting crashed in a car. And that was it. It was gone. You didn't see him again after that. End of the movie.
Sweet.
But 1 out of 2 ain't bad, Rich.
Thank you, because I'm coming for you. You just, because I'm gonna tell you right now, you hit me with 2 gems. So good. I have to agree. It was really good.
Go
They
on,
were both
tell us
really
all
good.
about
They
them
had
because I
this-
am listening.
All right, she gave me kid alt, kid alt, kidulthood,
Hmm.
and then adulthood. And the first one, I was kind of thrown back because they're supposed to be like 15 years old, and they doing some grown up stuff in it. It kind of threw me off. But then I figured, y'all drink at like 18. We got to drink when we're 21
But
here.
this is what I
So
was saying to you. It is a representation of stuff that goes on in the hood. Do you know what I mean? Where
yeah,
parents
I
are,
thought it was,
yeah.
I thought it was really good, so good that I watched the other one right after because you said it was just a continuation.
Mm-hmm.
So after I watched it, that was so good that I was doing some research and they have a third.
Oh, well, I hope you haven't watched it because that's my recommendation for you this week. Brotherhood.
Yeah. Well, can I tell you a secret?
You watched it.
I watched it already. It was so good. I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. It was so good because it was the same people.
And this is one of the things I liked about it. They kept the same characters, the same actors, 1, 2, and 3. Like normally you get a film and then they'll bring out a second one years later and they've changed characters or somebody else is playing somebody else or blah, blah, blah. It's the same people.
Well, I've seemed to notice a trend in British TV series and movies that y'all do kind of keep the same people
Mm-hmm.
in the movie. Like if it's a movie that's carried on to like a part three, it's not, they don't even say part three or, adulthood part two. It's just like, y'all seem, it's kind of like a thing for British actors where, I mean, British movies or television that they keep the same people in series like Top Boy 1, 2, and 3. Like they kept the same
Okay,
people
but didn't you
and
think
the
that,
movie
that
progressed.
kidulthood, adulthood, brotherhood is similar to Top Boy? Remember I said to you it was similar?
Yeah,
It's like the same thing in
actually,
a film.
it kind of went to where I thought some of the movie looked like Top Boy,
Mm-hmm.
like the same. I forgot what you call them, but we call them the projects. And
Oh, Council Estate,
yeah, it was. I loved it.
the hood, ghetto.
I loved it.
Well,
So I'm
I'm
sorry.
glad that I have managed to bring you yet again absolute
Yeah,
bangers.
you're killing me right now. I ain't gonna deny that you are killing me right now. You're making me really feel like, I'm not a movie guy, but I am. And I'm
Well,
coming
this is
for
where
you.
it's just
Because I
different.
did.
It's just difference of opinion. That's all.
Oh no, because check this out. I got some movies. Did you see Juice?
Juice. I like orange juice. Spelled the same way. Juice. No.
Yup.
Is that what you're
That's a
telling me to
movie you
watch?
need to
Because I've got to
see.
write it down.
That's a movie you need to see. You said you saw Boys in the Hood.
Uh huh.
You said you saw Menace to. Have you seen Menace to Society?
Uh huh.
So have you seen Higher Learning?
Higher learning. No. Okay.
Check
Now,
that
as
out.
at the minute,
I'm
I
going, I'm
only.
going, I'm going all in. You had me going. You went into the crates. Now I got to go in the crates.
Okay, hold
Get
on.
Higher Learning and Juice, and then you tell me
Okay,
what
I'm
I'm
telling
talking
you,
about.
I had brother. Well, I don't know where these two movies have come from all of a sudden. I think it was because I gave you adulthood and kidulthood, so you gave me two.
Mhm.
So we need to try and go back to one because I can't even find one for you. I did have
But
one, but you've already gone and
then
watched
Juice is my number one choice. Then
it. Okay, Juice it is. But you, unless I think of one by the end of the show, because you've already watched my one for this week for you, which was
I'm
Brotherhood.
sorry. I'm gonna be honest. It was so good. It just popped up after I finished watching Adulthood, and then I read it. I read the little caption. I was like, oh, gotta watch it because I want to see what happens.
Wow.
So people, I'm telling you, people, watch Adulthood, and then finish it off with a nice glass of wine and watch Brotherhood. And it was just great. It was
If
great
you
television.
want
I
an
have to say.
insight to what the ghetto in London is, like that is
Yeah.
literally it. So when you talk about crime,
How they run they block.
that's right. When you talk about crime and about like the difference between guns and stuff, obviously there's guns in them films, but oh sorry.
Not like how we would have it.
No.
But check out Juice then. Now I have to go on the crates on you. And if you have time, watch that watch that Higher Learning.
Okay, well, hopefully, I'm holding out a last hope that you have actually pulled it out of the bag this week.
You'll see.
Okay, so movies is the topic today.
Mm-hmm,
What
mm-hmm.
are some of your absolute all-time favorite movies?
Okay. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna go with Goonies by far. I love me some Goonies.
I never in a million years thought that you were gonna say the Goonies, I gotta say.
I love me some Goonies, yo. One Eye Willie. That was my ish. That was my ish.
Oh my.
And then I watched another childhood movie I liked was Stand By Me,
Oh yeah, that's cute.
where they all hung out in the summertime to go see that dead body.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was dope. And then, then you gotta get into the gangster movies like Scarface.
Love Scarface.
All time Scarface. Al Pacino did his thing.
Casino is one of my favorite.
If a lot of Martin Scorsese's movies was Goodfellas.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since I was a kid, I always wanted to be a gangster. That was my joy. And then I really liked Bronx Tale.
Bronx Tale.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Robert De Niro. That's another good, I wouldn't say gangster movie, but it was like a coming of age movie because the dude started liking a black girl. Italian dude started liking a black girl. So it was dope. And then all the black movies like Baby Boy.
I love that.
You're gonna wait till I have 3 strikes on me. That was with Ving Rhames, that was my favorite part. Jody, go ahead, call for your mama. You're gonna wait till I got 3 strikes on me. You better get him. I was like, yeah.
Are you still running on yesterday's liquor? Is this one?
Well, you asked me all time.
But you're really going like reading the whole script. I love it.
Yeah, oh yeah. I still got something running through my veins, but guess what? I'm here. The show must go on. Let me see. And then if you want to get into like some chick flicks, that like for you guys that want to impress the ladies.
Okay.
You want to just cuddle up and watch it.
Impress ladies, and I'll tell you.
Yeah, you want to cuddle up and watch a good chick flick. Love Jones.
Oh, Love Jones. I only watched that the other week.
And Love and Basketball.
No, I haven't seen that.
I'll play you for it. Then you got A River Runs Through It with my boy Brad Pitt.
Who would you say is your favorite actor and actress?
Right now? By all means.
Point.
Huh?
At any point.
At any point? Denzel by far. Him and Lawrence Fishburne are my 2 favorite actors. Cornbread Earl and Me. That's when Lawrence Fishburne was like 7.
Really?
Or 10 or 11. Yeah, they killed Cornbread. They killed Cornbread. Cornbread Earl and Me. That's an old 70s joint.
Okay, so you're going all the way back, just taking a side step now. Have you always been a movie buff then? Because obviously, if matey was like 7 or 10, you must have been like knee-high to a grasshopper. So, have you always been a movie buff?
I've always been in movies. I was kind of like when I was a kid. I was kind of, and people can relate to this. When we were kids, we didn't have video games until like later. So like you went outside and played, and if it wasn't the only time you weren't in the house, the only time you were actually in the house is if it was raining, because 95% of the time you run in the street with it.
Or if you were eating, that's the other time you came in to eat, or if it was raining.
Yeah, or to eat. Yeah, you know what I mean? And I always got kicked out of the house. They were like, boy, go outside and play. Go outside and play. Get your face off the TV. And to this day, I still be in front of the TV. I think I'm like, yo, let me watch this right quick. But yeah, I've always been into movies and music. But I like movies though.
If you had a choice, would you stay home and watch a movie or go cinema
Oh man, I spend the whole day at the cinema.
on your
What?
own?
On my own, yeah. A lot of people go, man, that's weird. You mean you'll sit in the movie theater by yourself? I said, I sure will. And
I'm,
go back, and I'll go to a couple of them.
I'm not going to lie. I've only ever been to the cinema by myself once.
Yeah. Oh, I
Yeah. And
love it. 'Cause
even when
guess what?
I went to watch Oceans, which is the one with Sandra Bullock's in charge. Is it Oceans 10?
I
Ocean,
don't know. One of the
whichever one it
oceans.
is, where the women do. And
Mhm.
I remember going and I said, "Can I have?"
Did the women do the do?
I said, "Can I have a ticket, ice cream, and a ice blast?" And he just looked at me and said, "Just one ticket?" And I was like, "Yes, I just want one ticket." You know, he looked at me like I was weird. But and don't get me wrong, I don't really like going places by myself. So I was actually shitting it. I don't know why. Until I
Mhm.
sat in my seat, ate my ice cream, sucked my juice, and I was thinking, actually, maybe it's not that bad. Watch the film. But as soon as the film credits rolled, that was it. I was out. I was gone.
Yeah. Well,
But I did
see, you know
not.
what? Like, I don't get it twisted now. I do go to movies with people, but if like say if I ain't got nothing to do and everybody's doing their own thing, then I'm going to the movies. And that's one thing I miss about this pandemic. I
Hmm.
ain't been to movie theaters and I don't know how long.
See, now
And
I only would go to the cinema. There has to be an absolute banger that I really want to see to go to the cinema. Any Fast and the Furious film, I have to go to the cinema and watch it because it's got my man Vin in, and I have to go on the day it comes out. That's a given. Anything else, unless it's really good, I really want to see it, then I'm not bothered either way.
I'm telling you right now, I've seen movies. I feel like some movies are you just have to see in the theaters.
Hmm.
There's like no other way. I mean, you can see them now with all the technology, but there's nothing like watching a good movie on the big screen where you're just like amazed. Like Avatar, I was amazed. I couldn't stop. Look, I didn't even want to go to the bathroom. I thought I was going to miss something.
Mm-hmm.
Lord of the Rings, I watched those. I was just like, oh, every time that joint came out, I was pushing people out of the way. I want to see it on the big screen. Um, and you know I'm a Superman man, so I remember one year Superman Returns came out on my birthday, and I went and saw it at the IMAX theater in 3D because I was just like, yeah, Superman's back.
Have you ever been to see one in 4D?
Oh yeah, where they move stuff up underneath the seat and
Yeah.
stuff and water
Now,
and stuff.
it's probably not your sort of film, but I went to London IMAX to see Mary Poppins, you know, the last one that came out with my
Yeah, I saw
cousin.
that.
I, honest to God, could not stop laughing. At the beginning of the film, they put on like an advert basically to show you this is what it's going to feel like in your seat. But the advert was you were riding a motorbike. So literally the whole seat was going like this, water, wind, or whatever was blowing in your face. I was laughing so much I thought I was going to fall out of my chair. But it was hilarious. I would definitely watch. I'd love to see Fast and Furious, to be honest, in 4D.
Yeah, and then any of the superhero movies was dope. But it's just something like it's just something about the movie theater, the big screen, and the action. Like I've seen, like, don't get me wrong, I've watched, some slow movies in the movie theater, but if it's got some action in it or some monsters like King Kong, Skull Island,
I
I
think
watched that on the movie. I
I
watched that
saw that in the
movie theater.
cinema. You're right.
That it was great.
Okay, so if money was no object, like these stars that we will be one day when we've got our show,
Oh
would
yeah, yeah.
you have your own cinema? Like, you know, they have like a cinema room in there where they got the cinema seats, a big massive.
Yes.
Okay.
Yup.
So if you
Mhm.
had that, would you not go to the cinema? You'd just go to your own cinema?
Yeah, I go to my own cinema. Matter of fact, if I was balling like that, because I remember there was, I don't know who did it. I don't know what celebrity did it, but they had the actual film realms, that the film reels that they have like in the actual movie theater brought to his house. That's what I want. Bring
Okay.
me the movie that you're gonna put on the big screen, and let me order that and bring it to my crib and
So
hook it up. And it's
your,
in. I'm in there.
your cinema's there, movie theatre, you want to call it that.
Mhm.
like here we have a VIP section. So you have a VIP screening where you have big, like normal one, your chairs are all in a line, you're all squashed in like sardines, you know, you watch the film. You buy your popcorn, drink, ice cream, whatever before you go in. In the VIP, it's a separate screen. There's probably only like 20 seats in there. They're massive, like reclining armchairs that go back. You get unlimited, like popcorn included with your ticket. You know, it's literally like sitting in the comfort of your own home, but in a cinema. Do you have VIP screenings there?
We don't have VIP screenings, but we have a movie theater here called Flagship.
Okay.
And you have to literally, when you get your ticket, you have to actually pick your seat.
Mm-hmm.
And the seats, just like yours, they recline back, like they're like recliners. They can recline back, and everything is spaced out. So like a regular movie theater, you got to like push past people and stuff
Yeah.
like that. These are like all you actually, when you buy your ticket, you have to pick the seat that you want. Because sometimes I've been to, I remember there was one time I got the Flagship and I couldn't even get in because it was like a Friday night and I should have came or bought my tickets because, especially if you were like bringing a date or a girlfriend or something, like, yo, they be like, man, I don't know if you want to come tonight because like your seat's here, but your lady seat's like all the way over there because they picked them all. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, we have something similar to that. We don't have a VIP though. We used to have, and I don't know, maybe y'all might have something similar. We used to have a movie theater called the Cinema Grill, where you can actually eat and drink and watch the movie. But that ain't last too long. But
We just have the usual, what I call cheap food, you know, like hot dog, nachos, popcorn,
I mean, yeah,
sweet.
I haven't seen it since. I mean, it's closed down. I don't know what happened, but that
Mm.
was years ago. Like when I was a teenager, they had like, it was called a cinema grill, and you can go in there and actually order food, and then they would give you a bracelet if you were like over 21. You could get actual alcohol beverages and just sit and actually have a meal like you at home. And
So do they
like
actually
in
still
front, there's
have
like a
do they
table.
actually still have drive-in cinemas there, or is that just in the movies?
Yeah, we got a drive in here.
We've got there. We've had a couple here, but they're obviously like pop up. Really, you know, they just pop up
Mhm.
for a couple of months and then off they go again. But I went to an open air cinema with my cousin. Same one. Went to see Mary Poppins. She's like my cinema pal.
Mhm.
And we went to see A Star Is Born. You know, with Lady Gaga. I'd seen it a million times already, but we went to the outside cinema. So you just sit like in this. The chairs go round in a circle, and there's a massive screen. It was actually really nice.
That's a drive-in.
No, no, that's an outdoor cinema. That was in the middle of Regent's Park in the middle of London. We do have
See,
drive-in ones.
we have drive-in ones where you take the speaker and you put it on your door and you're sitting in your own car.
That's how
That's
it works. They give you a speaker.
yeah. Or you pull up like they got like lane, like a parking lot has lanes. They
Yeah.
have like a little box right there. You pull into that lane and then you can hook that thing up. And then they got it to where like you change the channel on the radio station gives you the channel and you can actually watch the movie.
Isn't it uncomfortable though to sit in your car the whole time?
Well, you know what? I haven't been to one in years. I went to one when my kids were smaller, and you know what? It was fun. You know what I mean? Because you can just pop up. You can just like pop up. Your trunk. You know what I mean? Like the back
Mhm.
part. Because I had a truck, so I just popped at the back part. They had blankets, and they had a good time. You know what I mean? And the thing about the drive-in is it's so much fun because like you're getting like a double feature or a triple feature, like, and then I think it's good for more kids anyway. It's kind of more built for kids because like
So it's
the
not just
last
one
time
film you go
I
there
think the
for.
last time I think it was like Despicable Me and some other cartoon, and my kids loved it.
So it's not just one film you watch when you go there.
Mm-mm. I mean, you can watch one film, but 95% of the time you're going to get like two films for the price
And
of
do you
one.
have to pay for the car or the people in it?
I think you just pay for the car. I haven't been there in a while, so I don't want to lie. I don't know if you have to pay for each person in it, but I think you just pay for the car load. To be
Hmm.
honest,
Wow.
I'm gonna have to look into that, but
Drive-through
I think you
cinemas
just
would
pay
do
for the
well
car
in
load.
this coronavirus time. We've said that before. on a
Mhm.
previous show.
Yeah.
So
So
what
yeah,
do you want
them
to
is my
see then?
movies.
Because obviously half the films that were due to come out at the cinema haven't come out because there is no cinema. So what was you looking forward? Because obviously I'm going to drop it again. Fast and the Furious 9. I was waiting to get my seat on the cinema to see Vin. Ain't come out.
I'm gonna tell you, like I said, they got to be for me to go to movie theaters and watch them. They got to have some action in it. And you know what I'm really looking forward to watching is um Tom Cruise's movie Top Gun Maverick.
Oh yeah, you said about that. I'm not really sure unless it's going to be good.
I hope. Well, you know what? I mean, to be honest, Tom Cruise ain't never let us down. I'll be honest. I mean, they might be slow, but if it comes to, like when he does them little, but when it comes to action, I think Tom got it, yo. He
What have
knows
they
how to
said
make an
about
action.
that? Are they going to wait for the theaters to open, or are they going to stream it on telly, or we don't know?
Well, you know what? The thing about that is with this whole pandemic, I don't know what's going on. And then on top of that, like you have some movies that have already came out and they just went straight to like streaming services. Like for instance, Wonder Woman 1984 is supposed to be coming out
I want to see that.
on Christmas Day.
Christmas Day?
hmm And the thing about that is, are they going to stream it? And if they stream it, it's crazy. You got to, you know what I mean? You got to wait for it to come on a streaming service like Disney Plus or
Sky
on
Plus.
demand or on demand. And I think to me, if everybody jumps on that, that's just going to
It's
do
going to
away with the
crash.
movie
Yeah,
theater.
I think that's a bit of a boo-boo, having it on Christmas Day when everybody's at home. Everyone's going to want
But
to
see,
watch.
that's a big thing here. During the because the kids are off, and they're off for like what 2 weeks. So
Mm-hmm.
like that's a good thing. That's what I missed about you know the break when my kids were in school. Like when they had their little Christmas break or summertime. I remember one summer we went and saw every movie that was out in one summer. Like it was like Transformer heaven. We went and saw Transformers. We everything that just came out that Friday. We was there. Boom.
I'm
And I was
jealous.
at a
I ain't going to lie.
me.
When we was kids, we didn't go to the cinema very often because obviously my mum was a single parent. We didn't have money. But what we did have was one whole wall in our living room was from top to bottom with a shelving unit with videos on, right? At the top would be 18, 15, 12, and then our kids' ones would be on the bottom. So obviously, if we had Christmas or birthday and my mum, vice versa, people would just buy us videos. And I remember painstakingly looking at that wall as I got older, thinking, oh, can't I watch that? No, you're not 12 yet. No, you can't watch it till you're 15. And I remember after I moved out of home, and then I went back when I was 20. I stayed at my mum's for 2 weeks in between finding a new flat, apartment, whatever you want to call it. And I
Mhm.
remember thinking, yes, I'm old enough to watch whatever I want. So I literally picked a film, watched it. She came home and I was crying, like literally crying like a baby. She was like, Jesus, what's happened? I was like, I watched a film. She said, what did you watch? The Color Purple. And it was actually on 2 videos. It was so long.
Yeah, it was on VHS. It was like a big box set.
You had to put the next one in, but I cried.
I think the very first movie I've ever went to in the theaters was with my older brother, JP. He took me to see Star Trek: The Wrath of Khan, and I was hooked because it was just so action packed, and I love Star Trek. It was The Wrath of Khan. It was like they looking for Spock and all that. I was just like, oh my god! And then I got a little older, and my dad is a big martial arts fan,
Mm-hmm.
and I took him to see.
Bruce
And
Lee.
my dad rarely goes to the movie, so it was kind of shocking that he wanted to go. We went and saw Dragon, the Bruce Lee movie,
Mm-hmm.
and he shushed me half the movie. He was just like, I'm watching the movie. I was like, man, I'd rather watch a movie with you at the crib. But yeah, he just shushed me, and I was just like, man, I felt all awkward.
If there's a film that's really good, even if I'm in the cinema, I get in the zone. Like I went to see Sex and the City is my TV jam. Like I've seen all of the episodes a million times, right? So when they bought a film out, I went to see it the day it came out.
Mhm.
Premiere, the whole of the cinema clapped. No word of a lie. When the film was starting and the curtains opened, the cinema clapped. I clapped with them. Then when I went to the cinema to see Magic Mike, the second one, I was literally clapping and cheering. I didn't care less. It was like no one else was in the theater, just me. Woo!
Was you
I was like,
was you getting into it?
that's what I was doing. Someone was laughing
Now,
at me, and I didn't.
there's some movies that I've seen that, like, you know how like you sit in the back of the seat, you know how you sit in the back,
Mm-hmm.
like you relax. Sometimes I get so into it, like I'm like up into the movie, like I'm on the edge of my seat, like oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, what's gonna happen? I like movies like that where I gotta
Have you
sit
ever
up and pay
fallen
attention.
asleep in the cinema?
Have I ever fallen asleep in the movie theater? Yes. Mhm. I think I took my kids to see that Lego movie,
Oh, I don't blame
and
you.
I passed right on out. I thought that Lego movie was so hard that like I was fighting sleep. It was like my sons and their friends and we all went, and I'm like in the middle, and all I can remember is going, "Oh my god, did I?"
But the thing is,
What
though,
part of
don't you find with kids' movies now, they're not actually really meant for kids? Like, I remember, I don't know if have you seen The Princess and the Frog Disney movie?
Yeah, I like
I
the
took
Princess and the
my
Frog.
niece to see that, right? And as we were sat there, firstly, it's like got like about voodoo in it. And I was thinking, what the hell are kids going to know about voodoo? So then they were joking, but it was like jokes aimed at adults. So I thought, let me watch her. So I looked at her. Half the time she wasn't laughing. And when she was, I was thinking, do you even know what you're laughing at? How would they
Well,
get
did
half
you
the joke?
but to think about this though, when you was a kid and you watched a movie or a show, did you laugh? No, because you didn't get it. But watch it now as an adult and you just be
Yeah, but
cracking
I
up.
watched things like Snow White and Sleeping Beauty. There wasn't nothing about voodoo in there and adult jokes.
Well, hey, there's a lot of other stuff in them
I
cartoons.
gotta say, when I went to the cinema to see The Lion King, I cried when Mufasa died.
What, the cartoon or the live action one?
The live action one, I fell asleep. Literally, the beginning, Rafiki the monkey holds Simba up at the end of the rock. That's like what, the first 5 minutes?
Hmm.
That's when I fell asleep and I didn't wake up till the credits at the end. And I haven't gone back and watched it since. So sorry, Beyonce.
Was Beyonce in it?
Yeah.
Oh, she played Nala, right?
Mm-hmm. That's how much attention you paid. But yeah, I fell asleep and I haven't gone back because I thought, well, if it was that good. And the only reason I went back to your one that I fell asleep to last week is because obviously I've got to come back and review it. So, and it turned out to be not so bad. So,
I'm gonna tell you, when it comes to live action movies, they're hit or miss when you remake a cartoon.
Beauty and the
I think
Beast
it's
to me is
pretty
the
much
best one.
me. I think the Jungle Book, both versions, was
I
dope.
haven't seen
Yeah.
it. But Beauty and the Beast is the one for me. That's my favourite Disney film and it's my favourite live actioner.
And speaking of actresses,
Oh, yeah, because you dropped Denzel and Matey Boy, but you didn't say anything about actresses.
yeah, Denzel and Lawrence Fishburne. Actresses, I want to go with. Man, there's just so many to pick from because they're just,
We're not
you know.
talking about who you fancy now. We're talking about who is good at acting.
Oh, okay. Angela Bassett.
Oh yeah, definitely, hands down. Tina Turner movie.
I think anything she puts her hands on is dope.
Mm-hmm.
Angela Bassett by far, and I think she's
I
just
totally agree.
beautiful, beautiful woman.
Mm-hmm.
And next to her, I would have to say Holly Berry. And I'm gonna tell you, I hope there's a spin-off of John Wick.
I knew
I
you were going to say that because I was literally just about to ask you, what did you think about her in that last one?
I loved it. She was on live on Instagram and she was like cooking or something. And I just kept plugging it. I kept going, they should have a spin-off because I want to know what happened to your daughter. Do you ever get your daughter back? How'd you get them dogs? Like, you know what I mean?
And did she
And I
pick up
just
on
kept
any of
plugging
it?
it. huh? I kept plugging it and plugging it and plugging it. And she was like, I don't know if she you know how like when you're on, if you watch Instagram and they're like the celebrities, they're like looking, but they're doing stuff. And then
Well,
she's
the
just
thing
talking
is,
to
I
like,
think
then
they
she texts and goes, I don't know. I was like, oh my God, Halle Berry said, I don't know. Because I mean, look, everybody was like, oh, Halle Berry, you're so beautiful, you're all that. I was like, forget all that. We know you're beautiful. Like,
this is the thing. When any celebrity does a live like that, they get so many hundreds of thousands of comments.
yeah.
They go so quickly. I don't know how they keep up. Because I don't keep up. I don't know what half of them say, but
But see, I don't know if they have people like responding to your like, Instagram, I don't know if they got people
if it's a
typing because she
live,
was
surely they
talking
can't
and
because
all
it's
of a sudden
literally
she was
live.
like, look, because I just kept saying it. I just was like, boop, 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 boop. And then she was just like, I don't know. I was like, oh, she said, I don't know.
That's your claim to fame,
Mm-hmm.
Halle.
Michael Michelle too. I just fancy Michael Michelle, and she actually talked to me on her Instagram, so I felt special
Oh, what did
during
she
the
say?
pandemic. During the pandemic, she talked to me.
What did she say?
I felt special because she yelled out my little Instagram name, and she goes, "Oh, you're essential. What do you do?" And I told her, and she's like, "Oh, just be careful, yada yada yada." She's like, "Hats off to you." I was like, "Oh my God, Michael Michelle. Oh my
Now
God."
we know how you spend your spare time chasing celebrities on Instagram that you fancy to get a shout out.
Mm-hmm. The one I've been trying to is Anne Hathaway. She
Okay,
gave
I'm
me.
going to let you into a secret. In fact, I'll even show you. I said I'd tell you afterwards. So on show number one, you said Anne Hathaway was your thing, right? You fancied
Yes.
her, blah, 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 whatever,
Yeah,
whatever. I'm
yeah.
telling you for a fact, about 10 times a day, I've been messaging her, asking her to give you a birthday shout out. The same message. I've literally copied and pasted it. Look at it. I've copied and
Yeah.
pasted it for the last week. I've messaged her multiple times every day saying, please, can you please just send a voice note to say happy birthday or write a message? Anything.
Oh my
Well,
God.
she hadn't even read it. So I think you need to change.
Right. Because she has her little Instagram, but she does all that like, helping people. And she did something and she apologized just because it was a transgender friend of hers and she apologized. She did something and she misunderstood it or whatever. So that's why I like people who are just real. She gave the transgender lady an opportunity to do her thing on her Instagram for like a week. I
Well,
thought that
you
was
know
dope.
what? Just for you, Rich, I'm going to keep plugging her. I'm going to say the day's gone now, but if you can still give him a shout, I'll even tag her when I put up today's post about the movies.
Oh, why thank
All
you.
right, I'm trying. I just wanted you to know I've been trying for days.
Yeah, well, just make sure they don't end up putting PFAs out on you because like
Just
stalking
remember,
us.
my birthday's next. So Vin Diesel, if you want to message him,
Oh man, I already told you if this ever goes prime time,
if what?
when, not if, when. And one of our first guests, and I'm gonna be telling the producers and everything. We need this person, and you ain't even gonna know. I'm
Good.
gonna tell them. Don't tell her nothing.
Listen, the day they say to us, listen, we're going to give you your show. It's going to be on this channel at this time. Come in on this day and record. From that split second, I'm going to say to you, Rich, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about how I will behave when I see Vin. Because whether it's the first show or the 100th show, I'm probably going to wee myself. I'm not going to lie.
No, he's gonna wow because I'm gonna tell him exactly what to do, and you're gonna
God,
probably
if you
lose
tell
it.
him to do the Magic Mike routine, oh,
No, no, he's too cool to be doing Magic Mike.
listen, I'm not
Cool,
greedy.
man. But I'm gonna have him use that voice though. I'm gonna have him
Oh
use
my
that voice.
God, do it.
You're gonna be like, "Who's this?" I'm gonna be like, "I don't know. It's your birthday. Who might that be?" Guess, and we would probably play the game. Guess the celebrity. I'm gonna have him talk.
Oh my God, it'd be
Be
game over.
like,
Of course I'd know who it is.
he's gonna be like, "So,
To be fair, I always say that your voice
in
is
your eyes."
similar to his. Probably not as deep, but
Hmm.
yeah.
He's gonna
I
be
just
like,
love
"It's
me.
all in the eyes."
I'd be like, oh hell yeah.
See right through all the bullshit.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I haven't actually come up with another film for you to watch this whole show. Your waves look fine in your hair. Don't worry.
No, I happened to look. It looked like a piece of hair was sticking up.
Oh, well, you look fine. We never
Like just
noticed.
like I just got out of bed.
No comment. No comment. I'm
No,
trying to think. I can't think of any films that you wouldn't have watched. I need to go back to my English list because they seem to be. I've got more chance. Like I wouldn't have thought you'd have watched Sliding Doors, but you have.
yes.
Love that film.
And it Gwyneth Paltrow.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Love that film.
Mm-hmm.
But not many people.
No, Great Expectations with her and Ethan Hawke. That was one of my favorites too.
Okay, let me ask you a
That's a
question.
chick movie, y'all. That's a chick movie. Got a little bit of suspense to it.
Tell you're in a chick flick. There's only time for a few more questions. Because I am on clock watch today. Sorry about last time's show. I said I was on clock watch and I was, but you know, I just love listening
We
to
got carried away when we started talking about R&B singers and stuff.
And as soon as you started singing, that was it. All went out my mind the time. But
And
go on.
to be fair, she gave me some people, and to this day, I still don't know who they are. I think they just.
And to be fair, you had a knock at the door and left us for a few minutes, so that had to be added on to the end. So realistically, we probably didn't go over. But movies, what do you think about you saying about like real life Disney action or whatever? What do you think about like musicals? You know, like Mamma
I'll tell
Mia.
you, I'm a big fan of old school musicals. Now, I did watch Hamilton,
Okay.
and I thought Hamilton was really good. And I'm gonna tell you, the most recent musical I watched, and I couldn't believe that I actually watched the whole thing, but it was actually good. Jingle Jangle.
Oh yeah,
It's
we
a new
watched that the other
Netflix joint.
day.
Did you watch that with Alfie?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was
Did he watch
attempting to
it?
cut his hair, yeah.
Did he watch it? Did he like it?
I couldn't tell you either way, I'm afraid, if he liked it or not, but he did watch some of it, yeah. Which is good for him, you know, because it's different. Normally it's Paw Patrol or Blaze and the Monster Machines or Peppa Pig. So you're lucky that he even entertained the idea.
I thought it was good. I was just like, wait a minute. Got some minorities in this joint doing their thing. I was really impressed. I like that. I think that's the most recent musical I've seen. And then I watched one that was kind of hard. It was an animated one. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't like cartoons with a whole lot of singing in it.
No.
Mm-mm. Like the Jungle Book, back then they was catchy. Woo woo woo, doo 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 boo boo boo, da ba doo ba doo ba doo doo doo. Now it's like a whole production. I can't. I just want to watch the cartoon. I don't want to hear all them singing and all that. But musicals, yeah, I can do a couple. But I like the old stuff, like The Music Man, Fiddler on the Roof.
I prefer to watch a musical in the theatre, not a film or the cinema. Do you know what I mean? Like real people on a stage rather than in a film.
Oh, like theater musicals? Yeah, I've been to a couple of them too.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna tell you, if you ever come back to the States, they got oh my God, it just went straight out of my head. We got a theater here that they said it's better than the actual theater itself. I can't even think of it.
What you mean, like on Broadway?
Yeah, and I went and saw it. Hold on. I'm about to look it up right
now. Birthday brain.
I see we got 5 minutes. I want to look it up.
Yeah, so birthday brain. Come on.
I know, man. It's hurting right now because I've been partying like a rock star.
You are a rock star.
We are going to be rock stars.
Wow. Now, I'm not going to lie. While you're finding that, I do a TikTok live with one of my best friends, Doug. We've been friends for 20 years. He's just had a baby. He is also a film buff.
Oh,
and
I found
last Sunday we did a live, and everybody literally went in on me because I hadn't watched a film called The Breakfast Club, right? So that was my homework for the week. And I watched it and I was just like, oh, God. So he just messaged me, did you do your homework?
Uh-huh.
So I did watch. I've done nothing. I've watched a lot of films this week from one thing or another.
I'm gonna tell you. Did you watch it? Did you like it?
I watched it. I didn't like it. I mean, maybe back 20, 30 years
I
ago.
mean, when it was out, it was popular. It was like a cult classic. Like a lot of the 80s movies are considered cult classics now. So I mean, like, if you didn't watch it back then and you're watching it now for the first time.
No, depends what movie it is. Dirty Dancing, you could watch that anytime and it is still a blockbuster classic. Sorry, I ain't buying that. Breakfast Club, one for me. But I watched it, I stomached it like a trooper. I took one for the team.
Okay.
Now,
Okay, I'm gonna give you one place if you ever come to the States, Sight and Sound. There's a couple of them around the country, but Sight and Sound, if you've been to musicals, you will absolutely love Sight and Sound. I thought I thought I was going to be bored, and I was sucked in because Sight and Sound they had what was not Moby Dick. No.
he's come with half a story like me last week.
Noah's Ark. You know
Uh-huh.
what I mean? They had the story of Noah's Ark, and they had animals coming out. The
Real
stage,
ones?
real ones, like real animals, camels and horses, and then like the stage would like spin around, and it was great. Singing, so much going on. You'd be like, I loved it. And then they had like little intermissions. And then when they started bringing the animals and stuff out, so if you were like on the outer aisles, they would have people come down and say, "Hey, move your feet in, arms in," and they just, oh man, it is a sight to see,
Sign
sight and
me up.
sound. And I kid you not, I was going, and this guy was like, "Oh man," I heard him talking. I was like, "Yo, is this any good?" He was like, "This puts Broadway to shame." He said, "It puts Broadway to shame." He says, "If you've been to Broadway and then come here, you probably wouldn't want to go back to a Broadway show." I was like, "For real?" And I watched and I was amazed. I was just like, wow, this is a lot. And it was good. It was entertaining.
Okay, sign me up. I'll go.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
Rich, we are going to close the show in a minute, but I haven't got a film for you yet. If I think of one before our meeting on Wednesday to discuss next week's show, then I'll surely give it to you by then. But you've took mine already, Brotherhood, and watched it. I've got to watch Juice. And if I got more time, I've got to watch Higher Learner.
Learning.
Oh, sorry.
Lana.
Higher Learning. Good job I said that, see, because I totally wrote the wrong thing down.
All right. Well, before we go, Soph, I just want to say thank you for wishing me a happy birthday. Thank you for the cake, the Pims.
I'm
Thank you so
glad the
much.
cake arrived in one
Appreciate it.
piece.
Hmm?
I'm glad the cake arrived in one piece.
Yes, I greatly appreciate it.
That made it across the pond.
It made it across the pond, and I'm gonna eat that sucker too. I'm gonna let you know right now.
And before we go, before today's show, we went and did our radio interview.
Yes.
How was it for you, Rich?
We in there. We in there. That's all I gotta say.
I thought it was good considering it was our first one. I thought we did very well.
Yeah, I think we did our very first radio interview, period.
And we're going to share it.
It'll come back to bite us.
Or in 20 years' time when they plaster it on our show and be like, do you remember when you did this? But we are going to share it with everybody when we get a copy, probably by the end of the week. We'll share it. Depends how long it is, because I'm sure they're going to chop it up. But we'll definitely share it on our Instagram page. And yeah, I might share it on our YouTube channel. Just do a special 20-minute show, just us talking.
Yeah. Well, this is Soph.
Well, this is Birthday Boy Rich.
And we are across the pond.
Rich, have a great week.
Friday, girl.
Hope you feel better. Eat some food. Sober up. Glad you had a great birthday.
It all up. Yeah.
Peace out.
See you guys.